Growing up, we didn't have any other toys. So nature was our playground. It was a place where we would really find like everything we needed. The jumping in the water, climbing trees, do all those things. After genocide, I wanted to do something really meaningful for my country, for me. This place where we are, we started a program for restoring a natural habitat. And we see the trees that we have in here, they are all planted, some of them 2018, the other ones were 2019. So they are really growing very fast. We focus a lot on trees that can support biodiversity. And again, sometimes to even understand the biodiversity value, we do surveys to know the species that are present in an area. And then after 5 years, we repeat to see if new species have come or these ones we found if they are increasing. Through that, we generate a lot of work for the community, full-time jobs. We make sure like everywhere we are working, we involve communities and the community are actually involved. This program has been growing and growing. This is where we are working with Clifford Chance through Lifescape as well to understand the environmental impact in terms of mitigating climate change. Like what is the amount of carbon we're able to offset by doing this kind of restoration. So this project has not only been a nice place for the country, for conservation, for education, but it's also like in terms of social and economic has really contributed a lot to the livelihoods of the communities.
There's huge needs here in Kigali. It could be anything from education to health, child protection. For us at Save the Children, what we're trying to do is address those challenges in a slightly different way. So moving beyond kind of traditional aid programming, where we run an education program or help a clinic. The problem with that is it's grant funded, so there's no sustainability, and actually that's a big challenge because it means we need to keep doing the same thing year after year after year. And that's actually not what people in Kigali want. They want it to be a community-led response to some of these challenges, and that's how the partnership with Clifford Chance is enabling us to do things a little bit differently. So as I say, we're moving away from this giving support approach to now thinking about how we can support local businesses. Our hypothesis is that it's going to be more impactful because we're working with businesses who really understand the needs of the local community. We're not saying what the issues are. Second of all, it's potentially a lot more sustainable because we're working with businesses who have a profit motive. So they're in it for the long run, they want to grow their business and they want to grow the impact they're having. And finally, it's that point about localization. It's not Save the Children or even Clifford Chance deciding what's going on here. We're listening to businesses and putting them first. The way we're doing it is by offering them business loans, and those are at an interest rate of 10%. If it wasn't for us, the usual interest rate you're looking at from a commercial bank is between 27 to 30%. So this is a huge, huge incentive, A, to become a social enterprise or a socially focused business, but also it provides some returns back into Kumaya, which is the team within Save the Children that are doing this work. So it's a really exciting project, and I think it's going to be quite transformative, I think, in the Kigali ecosystem.
Welcome to CAR Group. So my name is Regis Mugiraneza. I'm director and co-founder at CAR Group. We are doing sweet potato processing where we are making very healthy, nutritious pastries using, of course, sweet potatoes. We are selling it into more than 45 supermarkets here in Kigali, but our wish is even to go far from Kigali. Sweet potato here in Rwanda was considered as a useless crop. Before 1994, most of the household here in Rwanda were consuming sweet potatoes as a basic food. And then after genocide, the country started developing itself, and then that's where we started getting more other options of food. Then the young people, the urban people who grown eating sweet potatoes, now they started thinking it as food for poor. So as a person who grown in a rural area eating that sweet potatoes and seeing my neighborhoods suffering from malnutrition, I was looking something that I can do to change the way people perceiving the agriculture, but also showing that we can use what we have here to reduce one of the challenges we have, such as nutrition. We have been suffering from waste management because sweet potato has a short shelf life. So now we are constructing what we call zero energy cooling chamber. So where we'll be able to store between 5 to 10 tons of sweet potatoes for at least more than 6 months. Things you see here on your back. So we are going to put the charcoals, and then that charcoals within these bricks create the humidity inside those bricks, and then attract the coolness of inside the house. And then once we harvest the sweet potatoes with the soil, with everything, we keep in that condition, and then the humidity keeps in the sweet potatoes. Then you can keep it for more than 6 months. So this machine is doing washing and peeling. So the time we were trying to start, we were using knife peeling. So then we're losing a lot of part of the sweet potatoes. Within 5 kilos of sweet potatoes, we're getting at least 2.5, almost a half of it were lost. But we did the kind of research, we're trying to design ourselves as how the machine that can help us to peel and wash, and then we come up with this machine. We started developing the biscuit in 2021. When you look at the micronutrients, most of the kids, those who have malnutrition issues, there's a vitamin A deficiency, but also there's iron for anemia, especially for young girls and women. So that's why we say, how can we add that iron into that biscuit? We used the protein from eggs. Now we are instead of testing those micronutrients, so we made the samples. So now we take those samples into a laboratory to test. Once we got a good result, then we proceed for starting selling our product to market.